And I'm so excited to be talking with Scott Ayres, the man with the hairs.
Well, we both got good hair going on. This is the best hair ever on a video. I mean, you got really long, I've got really high. So yeah, we got it going on. Yeah.
And just for the record, it's been this long for a while. Not because I can't get to the
Right.
barber shop.
Yeah, it's not the COVID-19 hair. Like mine I will admit, mine underneath the wig is I usually keep it very, very short. But it's a little bit puffy right now. So I'm looking forward to getting it cut this weekend, possibly. Yeah.
Maybe. But you're not going to show us what it looks like, are you?
No.
So
I mean, I get the wig back
Ayres
on right. I mean, the wig it takes a little bit to get back on. I look in I get my phone out like it's a mirror and try to see if it's on the right spot. Yeah.
Scott Ayres is a content scientist, according to his business card, with a company called AgoraPulse. Tell us what AgoraPulse is all about.
Yeah, we made up that title whenever I took the job like 3.5 years ago. So yeah, I mean, I work for I do the social media lab, which is powered by AgoraPulse. AgoraPulse is a all-in-one social media management platform. Specifically, we kind of really targeted in on people who have teams. So if you're a small company with teams or an agency, you can be a solopreneur and use it, but we tend to, the bigger teams tend to do a lot more with our tool because you can assign tasks to different teammates and assign different things that are coming in your inbox. But we help you schedule. We help you manage your messages, your comments. You can listen in on people. So let's say you've got a competitor, you want to see what they're saying or a hashtag, you can follow it and kind of hop in those conversations. And then if you're an agency, the really cool thing is an agency, if you're doing social media for somebody else, the reporting in it makes you look really, really smart because all you got to do is slap your logo on it and send it. Yeah. They don't know who it's coming from. And it gives everybody all those key details that a client wants to show growth and activity. And so so it's a really cool tool. And I've been using it even before I started working for AgoraPulse. I used it. So it's kind of fun to work with the guys that I actually was a fan of, beforehand.
So you were a customer actually before you became on the payroll.
Basically, yeah. I mean, I've worked for 3 app companies now in the last 9 to 10 years. I worked for a company called Hubsy. I don't know if everybody remembers Hubsy. Back in the day, David Foster, he had a company called Hubsy that did a product called Fan Page Engine. And the funny thing was, I actually got his attention. I never had a job online in my life except for I ran my own businesses doing car shipping and stuff like that. And I had a little brand called the Fan Page Pimp, and I wore this big giant purple pimp hat and had all this cool branding with these comic book looking characters, different style. I had the Facebook pimp, the Twitter pimp, the Instagram pimp. And I trained people on social media, and I was training people how to use his tool called Fan Page Engine. And he was like, dude, you know more about our tool than us. Can you start writing blogs for us and doing training videos? I'm like, you can get paid to do this? Okay. And so I started doing it. And then someday he said, hey, come to work for me full time. And so I did. And I quit doing the other stuff. Then I worked for him for about 2.5, 3 years. And then I went to work for a Post Planner, worked for Post Planner about 3.5 years. I did everything. I was employee number 2 at Post Planner, other than the people who founded the company.
Was that your name?
Do what?
Employee number 2. Can you come here, please?
Right. Number 2. Yeah. Funny thing is, I never met David when I worked for him in person. I never met Josh and that team when I worked for him because we were all over the place. But I did support, I did sales, I did marketing, I did blogging, everything. So yeah, when I was working at Post Planner, even because Post Planner is just a scheduling tool, that's all they ever did. And so I would use AgoraPulse to manage the Post Planner accounts. So it was kind of funny. I had to use somebody else's software to manage us. But yeah, it's always been a big fan of what Emmerich and Ben, our co-founders, have done at AgoraPulse.
So what got you interested in video?
It's kind of funny. I've always just done a lot of, training videos, like Camtasia type screen sharing videos. That's kind of been, I never put my face much on camera, except when I did the Fan Page Pimp thing back in the day. So never really did that before until I guess it was January 2019, and Emmerich approached me and said, hey, because the funny thing was, there's a backstory. We'll back up a little bit. This little character, little orange guy, orange hair guy, we created him as part of the lab to be a branding for the social media lab. The orange fits into the AgoraPulse brand. And we had it for like 2 years, 2.5 years. And then one day I showed up for a company meeting, and had on this wig, and not this wig, a different one, and a lab coat, and everybody cracked up laughing. And then we went, we could do other things with this maybe. And so Emmerich approached me and said, "Hey, I want to do a live video show, and I'm gonna hire Owen Video to do it with you. And well, you want to do it?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And I'm like, "Hey, what if I wear the wig?" And they're like, "Do you really want to do that on camera and be known for that?" I'm like, "Yeah, because no one's gonna remember the guy with just a baseball cap on. It's not. That's I wear. I either have a wig on or a baseball cap on. I never without either one of them." And so I'm like, they won't remember that guy. They'll remember this. This will stand out. And so we just went for it. And our live video show had a lot of success over the last year and 4 or 5 months. And kind of gotten very comfortable talking on camera, and seeing the power of video for us has been a brand awareness piece. That's really where I fit in. And for me, I mean, I'm top of the funnel for us when it comes to our marketing. Mm-hmm. I'm brand evangelism, kind of brand awareness. I want people to kind of recognize me as part of AgoraPulse, the lab as part of AgoraPulse. And so we wanted that sort of recognition. And so that's what video has done for, especially live video. Where we can talk to our people who follow us. I can hop into other people's live videos, which I do a lot lately. Just kind of talking about, what we're doing, our experiments. And so, yeah, I think video does so much for you because it stays there, for one.
Yeah.
It's there, especially if you do YouTube well. And I'll admit, I'm not great at YouTube. I'm getting a little bit better as we go. I've always been a Facebook guy. But video's there, and people can go back and watch it later on. Even live videos.
Yeah.
The majority of your views on a live Facebook video or even a live YouTube is going to be replays. It's going to be after the fact.
Let's dive in a little about that, though, because that just fascinates me. I mean, I came from a radio background, and I think what I got from my mom is just the ability to talk to anybody about anything.
Yeah.
And thankfully, most people make me look smart because I'm really not. So being on radio, I think I just got used to, you turn on the mic and you start talking.
Right.
But then you get into live video. So, but I'm fascinated by that with the difference, though, between live and tape. So talk about that a little bit more, because I think people think when they go live, everybody sees it and they just move on to something else. But that's not really the case, though, right?
That's not always the case. No, I mean, what we've found on our live show, we know that a lot of times, especially if everybody's at home watching it, they have our live video pulled up in a tab, and they're probably doing something else. They're listening to us. That's why your audio needs to be really, really good on a live video. People forgive you for a little bit of a wonky video connection if your connection's bad, your internet's bad, but they want to hear your audio good. So a lot of people are just listening to your live until you give them a reason to come in and comment. Hey, type whatever. Hey, what do you think in the comments, or call them out or something like that, because people love seeing their faces up on a live video. And so I think the difference is as far as recorded versus live takes off some of the production pressure, because live, you just kind of talk. You can have some product. We did a lot of high value production. It was hard. I mean, we had a producer, we had multiple things going on to make that happen. Most people can't pull that off on a typical live.
Right.
But live in general is should be very conversational. It should be, you talking to, either if you have a guest or you talking to your audience, looking down at the comments, which makes you do this a lot, because your camera typically is up here above whatever your monitor is, unless you have one next to it, but your screen is down below. So you should be doing a lot of that, and that's okay. People understand you're reading the comments. So you got to have that interaction where, like right now, what I'm testing as of recording this, I'm actually testing live premieres on our Facebook page, because of all the COVID-19 stuff. I didn't have an office. I couldn't come to my office for last month. And so I was kind of just filming wherever I could, grabbing internet wherever I could. I was actually getting internet from a school for a little bit. They let me use a room because the kids were out. So they let me use a room, but it wasn't great setup. And even my backdrop is janky right now because I've folded it so many times. It's kind of got a crease that I can't get out. I'm going to have to buy a new one.
But the creases are really nicely symmetrically placed.
Well, except that one. There's that one right over somewhere there. Anyway,
there we go.
Yeah, you can see it, and I can't get it to go away. So forgive me for that. It's not a real chalkboard.
Fuse just went way down.
Yeah. But yeah, the view went down. But what I was saying is like we're doing live premieres because I didn't know I couldn't get internet consistently to go live. I couldn't go back to my office because I office about 30, 40 minutes from my house because at home, my home internet is horrible. I can't do lives from home at all because we're in a small town. We don't have broadband, so it's a challenge. And so I've been recording videos, editing videos, and then I would go somewhere, upload them, and then monitor the live premiere. I just did one today earlier. And so it's been kind of interesting to do. The problem with the live premieres is, for one, you don't get as much engagement as you do a
Okay.
typical live because people know they start to realize, especially if you're doing jump cuts and stuff, because you're editing, they know like, wait a minute, why did Scott Davis go
It
like that real fast?
it's like max headroom.
Right. And it moves faster though. So the live premiere moves quicker, typically 15 to 20 minutes max, where I might go an hour on a live. And then I'm adding in graphics. I'm adding in animated GIFs to kind of be funny.
Right.
But it's an interesting test. For one, we're going to test it to see. What I've found though is so far, I mean, on a couple of them anyway, our peak live viewership has been almost equal to our normal lives.
Get out,
But
really?
while the engagement's really, really low. But those recorded videos take a lot more effort because, I mean, I've got to go in, I've got to, I'll take out when I say the ums and the ahs or I mess up. So I re-record, and I'm adding in lower thirds. I'm adding in all this different stuff and sounds. And I might spend 4 or 5 hours editing that video where I could have gone live for 30 minutes and been done.
So let me ask you this then, because I go live a lot. I pre-produce probably even more. And I've always enjoyed what I call the vlog style type of editing, where they are jump cuts. Now, the irony is that, I came from a TV background, and that was like, oh, you can't do that,
Yeah. I think we got used to that on YouTube now.
Yeah. And it's like, now you got TV doing it. But I think if you're taking a live and then you're repurposing it, if you will, as a premiere, but then editing it, does it not kind of like defeat the purpose of maybe you were saving time to begin with?
Yeah, and that's what we're trying to see. I mean, I did at the beginning because I didn't have internet, and for a little bit. Now I do. So now I'm doing one more week, and then go back to some sort of live show after that, because I want 4 weeks to get some data on to write about it. But yeah, it does take it away a little bit, but. I didn't record them live where anybody could see it. I just recorded it at my house or wherever I was at, and went back in and edited it later. But I do think I think there's two things there. I think pre-recorded videos that you produce, you do a lot of things with, are great because you can make them shorter. Typically, you can make sure you got the best sound, the best video. You can add all the different lower thirds, which you can do lower thirds in a live, but not as many. Typically, it's hard to you're constantly hitting buttons in StreamYard or wherever else you're at. Whereas a live, you can get people to talk. And so what I've been trying to play with is, like, I'm even in my live videos, or the pre-recorded live premieres, which Facebook lets you do. I'm saying, hey, in the comments below, let me know, blah, blah, blah. And so I've been trying to goat people a little bit, trying to get them to talk even during that live premiere. And some have no idea that it's recorded. They're still commenting. But they don't see that pulled up on the screen, so it takes a little bit away from that ability. So, yeah, it's kind of interesting. I like the lives better because it's less production beforehand. You just got to plan everything out, and then I can pull out snippets like crazy for Instagram or for YouTube or Facebook, or like I was taking our live show that I did with Owen, and I would take that, say, 45 minutes to an hour and trim it down to 15, 20 minutes. Take out all the conversation with the audience, because no one wants to see that after the fact typically. And make that into a good little YouTube video. It's nice and tight and kind of gets through the content.
So that's a great example for anybody watching this of how you can take something from one platform to another, but change it just enough to reach maybe a different audience, right?
Yeah, I think you got to worry about that, because I always worry about just sticking a pre-recording a video that was live and downloading and uploading it somewhere else, because everybody's gonna be like, "What are they talking about?" You're laughing at a comment somebody made and they can't see it.
Yeah,
like, okay, I don't understand. So you lose. What's that movie, The Lost in Translation? It's lost in translation. You don't really understand. So I think if you do it live, it's a great way to, for one, just get your video done and do some lower thirds, do other things with it if you want during it, but then take it and trim it down, make a good quality YouTube video out of it, or use it on Facebook even, or wherever else. But you can make, maybe make for IGTV, pull out quick snippets for stories, or even for TikTok or something. You can pull
So
those things out. You know?
so let's talk about IGTV for a second. Eh, is it a thing really? I mean, is it even worth fooling with? I mean, because I will still run across people
Right.
going, "What?
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about."
They're trying to make it a thing, but I don't go there very often. It's very rarely I will go there. I will put videos there at times, and we get a decent amount of views on it when I do. So I always, and I forget about it a lot. It's one of those channels you go, oh yeah, it's like LinkedIn. You forget about it. You're like, oh yeah, I probably should be posting there. But there's something to it, because especially if you do the right title, the right hashtag, someone might find
Mhm.
it and search. So I do think it's important to maybe try it and see if there's an audience there. But yeah, I think the users in general, unless you're a big creator with a lot of follow, no one's really paying attention to it. I mean, and everybody's just regurgitating the same content.
Well,
You
and
know,
it's kinda hard to search on there too, right? I mean,
yeah, it
the few
is.
times I've been there, I mean, like, I love YouTube, because I'm constantly on there to be entertained or
Right.
learn something. We've been working on a bathroom. I'm like, "Okay, how do I get rid of the tile?" and stuff like that, and by
I
the way, I
feel you
can
on that.
do it like any of the videos show me. But, yeah, then you go something like IGTV, and it's like, I don't know how to find anything.
Right. Yeah, the search isn't great. And then, the only cool thing about it, I guess, is it's when you're watching one, it's all on your phone. It's the whole thing, the whole screen. So it doesn't nothing kind of disrupts you or takes your attention away unless you get a text from your wife or something. So I mean, it draws your attention. Where on YouTube, you're looking on the side, you're looking over here. Facebook's the same way, notifications come up. So there are some advantages there, but it is typically made for that vertical, even though you can go widescreen. You just got to tilt somebody have to turn their phone over to watch it, or they get the black bar, top
Yeah,
and
that's
bottom.
true.
The only cool thing I do like, one thing I do like about IGTV, when you upload to it, you can automatically post a short snippet of it to your Instagram
Yeah,
profile, and then a short snippet you can link to it in a story. So if you don't have 10,000 followers, this is the only thing you can link to
yeah.
in a story, is in a stories to IGTV. So it does have some other things there too, where you can cross promote it within Instagram itself. But I think most users, I bet you if I were to ask my wife, who's not a big Instagram user, she uses it here and there, she'd have no clue what IGTV is. She'd be
Yeah,
like, "What?
yeah.
What is that?"
Well, and I'll give Instagram credit. I mean, they have pushed the snot out of it, and and honestly, I think the one thing they did that was the smartest was pulling in the preview into the main
Yeah,
Instagram feed. But other than that, I mean, I personally, I think a misstep was, hey, we're going to have this thing integrated with Instagram, but we're going to give it its own app.
yeah.
And I got too many apps already.
Did they get rid of the standalone app? I don't even know now.
I think they did, because
It's
now you can
it's
go right to
inside.
it
Yeah,
and
yeah.
click it, which I'm like, well, if I can do that, I'm in there.
Yeah,
So
Facebook, of course, it's Facebook. I mean,
yeah,
Facebook, Instagram, same thing. They do some weird stuff sometimes with those standalone. They try it to see, and I think it really I think to me what they were doing with IGTV is they're trying to appeal to that millennial and below demographic who are on Instagram more and trying to get videos in front of them. And so I think that's what they were trying to do, is anything they can do to keep you in their app,
yeah,
to keep those ads for inside that app in front of you. They're going to try to do.
which is
Um,
really the goal of every social
Oh
media
yeah.
platform, right?
Oh yeah, for
None
sure.
of
I
them
mean,
want you hopping from one to the
no.
other.
That's why they keep copying each other with features. That way, hey, we have this too. Come over here. Yeah.
Stickers. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. So for the folks watching this that maybe they haven't jumped into video yet, or they've maybe dipped a little toe, what do you think is the absolute best platform to start with if you're starting out with video?
I mean, it depends what kind of video. For one, if you're doing like pre-made videos, that's a YouTube focused thing to me. For lives, I think just hop on Facebook and go live. Just talk to people. I mean, just maybe do it in a group, maybe do it in your profile, maybe do it on a page. Like I have a great example of, and I think I mentioned this last year, Video Marketing World you and I were at, which by the way, I didn't really know Kevin really much before that, except for online. Kevin takes a picture of me in the bathroom, the men's room, because my hair was sticking above the stall. and took a picture and posted it on social, and it went everywhere. I think he won something.
I won a prize.
Yeah. So anyway,
And then they asked me never to come back.
yeah. Quit stalking people
Yeah.
in the restaurant.
It was great though. It
It
was
was
great.
pretty funny.
Yeah.
And now every
What
time I go to
happens
the
in
bathroom, I
video
think of
marketing
that.
world stays at
Yeah.
video marketing.
Yeah, every conference I go to now, I'm like, I know there's somebody out there laughing because they can see this thing. And I have this is the hair I wear on camera now. I've got a different set of hair, a different wig that I wear at events now.
That's funny.
much taller. It's actually made after Syndrome's hair off The Incredibles, so it's even taller.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I wore it at Social Media Marketing World, and it was pretty fun because it really, really stands out. And if you sit behind me at an event, you can't see anything.
So here's the question though: is your hair insured?
It should be. It should be. I've got like 4 or 5 wigs so far, and this one's traveled. It's got so much hairspray and it's very, very crisp because it was made like a troll doll, so it was like a Hershey's Kiss shape, and I had to kind of stretch it out and move it and reshape it. But I've traveled with it so much and stuck it in bags and suitcases. I'm about ready to have to replace it again. But anyway, what I was saying was at Video Marketing World last year, I talked about the story of a local pizza business in my small town in Texas. They don't. They got maybe 1,000 likes, something like that. He's never done video. He's not a guy who even understands social media. He's never ran social media ads. He's got a page. Didn't even have a website. He just has a Facebook page. And they started this thing with they had called the Colossus, a 28-inch round pizza. It was like 8.5, 9 pounds. It was like $40-$50 to buy it. But they started an eating challenge. If you could eat it in an hour, you got it for free. And so this guy, I think named Jeremy or Jason, said, hey, I'll come do it. And he was inviting everybody to come up and watch it. It was like 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock at night on a weeknight during school. And I'm like, Gerald, the guy who owns the place, we're good friends, and we've done a lot of business together. I used to run a bounce house business, and he rented from me all the time. And I'm like, no one's going to go up there and watch that. I mean, because they got kids, So go live on Facebook. He's like, how do I do that? So like literally I'm texting him back and forth right before it happens, how to go live. So he goes live. He's holding his phone. There's no production in it. There's no lower thirds. There's no craziness. And he's just filming this guy eat and talking to everybody who's coming to come. He's greeting them saying, hey, it's good to see you. Good to see you. People are commenting, whatever. This thing, 20 viewers, 40 viewers, 50 viewers, 100 viewers, 200 viewers. It just kept growing and growing and growing. At one point, I forget what the exact peak was, but around 1,500 peak live viewers.
Wow.
And it had over 10,000 views before the hour was over. And there was people literally from all around not only all around the country in the U.S., but all around the globe, France, Spain, Italy, watching this guy eat pizza at this little bitty podunk, pizza restaurant in Gatesville, Texas. And it was crazy. And what happened after that, the guy didn't eat the pizza. He couldn't make it. He went and upchucked off camera right before the time was up. So he had to buy the pizza. But then the local news station saw it. Our CBS affiliate saw it, and they said, hey, can we send out a reporter during our morning show and set up a broadcast there and have him try to eat it for an hour? And then we'll pay for the pizza, blah, blah, blah. He got free press from them. He was on their morning show for 2 hours.
Wow.
And the engagement on there. And he did a couple more lives after that, and they did pretty well every single time. They get a lot of viewers. And so that's just one example. So like a lot of people say, especially small businesses, they're like, I don't know what to do with video. Just pick up your phone, and just start trying it. Because I think what happens after a while, you do it once, you're scared to death. Mm-hmm. You're sweating like crazy. You're nervous. You're shaking. You're looking for something to drink. You don't know what to say. You don't know where to look. But then you do it once, and you go, okay, that wasn't so bad. Do it again. It wasn't as bad as last time. And slowly you get better and better. Then you go, okay, now I need a better camera. I need a better mic. I need lights. I need all this other stuff. But I think to start with your phone, if that's all you got. And just start talking to people. Get used to seeing your face. If it's just going to be your face, get used to seeing yourself talk. And I think that you get comfortable after a time. I mean, you've been doing video forever, radio. I mean, it didn't happen overnight. It takes a lot of practice. It takes a lot of going back later and watching yourself to pick up. I push up my glasses way too much, and it drives me crazy. And I try to stop it, but I've already done it like 6 times during this. It's like, I don't know why this pair. I wear 2 different pair of glasses. This pair slides on me all the time. I don't know why. But you pick up on those things, and you got to figure that out. Okay, how do I stop doing that after you kind of learn? And that's where it gets fun at that point.
Yeah. Years ago, when I'm originally from Nashville, Tennessee, and there was just a huge DJ there that retired probably at number 1 whenever he got out of it, and I remember, and he was so good, so comfortable, and he had been on the radio for I don't know how long,
Yeah.
and I was watching an interview with him, and he said still to that day he hated hearing his own voice. He would hate because especially in
Right.
radio, and or if
Right.
anybody's ever done video and you've got we would call them cans, but you've got the headphones on or the earbuds, it's that's something else to get used to. And he said
Right.
he hated his voice, and this was a guy who got paid a lot of money because of his voice.
Yeah. There's a lot of people who never go back and watch or listen. Even some big speakers that we know, they won't watch their speeches or listen. They'll practice them beforehand. They know them well. They don't like going back because you become your worst,
Yeah.
critic, of course. But I do think you should go back and watch some to kind of pick up on the things that you're doing, especially when you're on camera. Like even now, I know kind of where I need to look to make sure it looks like I'm looking at the audience. So you got to learn those sort of things with cameras. Even with phones, you got to learn that. And so I think it's good to go back and watch it. But yeah, so if you're getting started, I mean, at least start with that. Start with your phone, talk to it, make a short little video. Heck, even no, great. I think there's some, is there marketing value in TikTok? Probably for some, not for everybody. Even just getting comfortable in something like that, being silly and goofy, just gets you past that. That self-consciousness that you look odd on camera or whatever, and gives you some confidence. And then you kind of get into the other things. But I think video, especially YouTube, YouTube is, the number 2 search engine next to its big brother, Google.
Yeah.
And so I think you've got to, if you have a business that people can find you and you have a solution, you can solve a problem, set up video. And it can be short and simple. They don't have to be crazy production.
Yeah.
Like I'm right now in the middle of yesterday, the fan motor on our outside unit of our air conditioner went out, and it's like it was 95 degrees the day before. So I'm like, okay, now how do I replace this? So where did I go? I went to YouTube and I went, how to replace AC fan. So I went and looked at it. Went, okay, I can do that. Popped it off. Of course, now I'm waiting for the motor to come. We had to order the stinking motor, so we have no. And luckily, it cooled off, so we're not as hot in Texas right now. But I went to YouTube for that. So, what is it in your business that you can go set up a title, how to do X?
Yeah,
and then make a video on it. I see my favorite. You were talking about in your bathroom. My favorite videos on YouTube. I'm not a big guy. I'm not a guy who watches a lot of the big creators and stuff, but it's just the guys who know how to do work. They know how to change the water pump, and they can tell me in about 5 minutes how to change my water pump on my 98 Suburban. That's the stuff that, and I think every business has something that they can solve with the video. And you're not going to get 1,000 views overnight. You might get 2.
Right.
And that's okay. 2 people you didn't know you before, maybe. You got to start somewhere,
I think that's probably the greatest advice that people should take away is that, it's easy to look at people where they are like big creators, they've got big fan following and stuff like that. And forget they started day one with no fans, no subscribers, no views, and just don't let it intimidate you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my word, what a time we're living in where we've got all these free mega platforms that anybody can just start a channel or start a Facebook group or even around a passion and immediately connect with folks.
Right. And I think that's where people forget. They're like, they see someone like, say, a Sean Cannell, and see all the massive amount of viewers he gets. I'm like, okay, I'm in his space, kind of, sort of. I'm never going to reach that probably. And that's okay. Yeah. I've got my audience that I'm going to appeal to. And I want to appeal to them. And I think you just got to quit comparing yourself to other people, learn from them. And then try to figure out how you can leverage it. Even if that means your average viewership is like 300 views and that's your max you ever reach. That's okay. Can you leverage that? Can you profit off of it? Can you get people to your website and, get their email, whatever your business does? And so I think we compare ourselves too much to those who we think have made it overnight, but they've been working on that for, Daryl Eves. I mean, everybody's like, oh, yeah, dude's been doing it for like 12 years or so. I mean, so it took a long, long time to get to that.
And he's still learning, and he's still growing.
Yeah. So I think that's where people, in all industries, especially video, because how many years has it been the year of video? It's like every year, it's the year of video. But I mean, we're always going to be learning. It's always going to keep evolving. It's always going to keep changing. I know there's argument about YouTube SEO going on right now in our social space,
Mm-hmm.
whether value or not. But there's lots of things that are going to keep changing. You just got to figure that out a little bit. But
Yeah.
I think the key though is it's consistent branding. Be consistent with it,
Yeah.
consistent production, and consistent look to it. Like your show probably looks about the same every time. Maybe you change your backdrop, your scenery, but you got the same expectations. Like your viewers get used to your expectations.
Yeah.
Our biggest problem we have at AgoraPulse is our YouTube channel, our main YouTube channel. It's just been like a repository for every video we make. So it's got sales videos, it's got this video, it's got this live, it's got this live, it's got this. If I subscribe to that, I'd be like, what in the world? That's not what I came here for.
Yeah.
So you got to give people what they came there for. And that's where maybe you create a separate channel for different things that way those people get used to that and expect it. Granted, we know some stats, not everybody, a small amount of your viewers sometimes are subscribers. But you got same with groups, Facebook groups. I know we're talking about video, but it's the same mindset. If I got a pet business, I don't need to be talking about, cars in it. I need to stay very specific to my niche. In my videos or blogs or whatever else.
Yeah. The mistake is trying to be the Walmart of YouTube.
Yeah.
No offense against Walmart. So.
Yeah, no offense, Sam. Yeah.
What a great time, Scott, talking to you, and tell everybody where they can find you or hook up with AgoraPulse if they're interested.
Yeah, 2 places. You can read everything that we do in the lab. You can go to agorapulselab.com. You can see all of our experiments. We typically publish every other week. That's kind of our pattern. We do a podcast that you can find as well, Social Media Lab. Just look for it wherever you listen to podcasts. And if you want to grab a trial of AgoraPulse, you can go to agorapulse.com/lab, and you get 28 days for free to play around with it and kick the tires and see if it's something you want to use. And our team will hop in and help you out as much as they can. Excellent.
And I'll drop a link to that in the description too, in case people weren't typing it out.
Yeah.
Scott, I love the hair.
I love yours too.
Thanks. All right. Thanks for being on the show today.
All right.
Put the needle on the record.